This is a keyboard. They're essential to computers, and if you're watching this video, chances are you've used one before. I've also had my fair share of keyboards as well. This was my first mechanical keyboard back in 2015 while I was still in high school. Man, I gotta brush the dust off of this. This is the Razer Black Widow with their custom green switches. I remember being obsessed with this clicky sound. It was music to my ears. But as I've gotten older, this belongs in the trash. Okay, not really, but it is quite annoying. I've also had a Corsair keyboard. I believe this was the red switches. I also had a phase where I only bought Ducky keyboards. This is the Ducky Mini 60 and the Ducky Mini 65. Why did I get them? Well, 60 because I wanted something portable, and 65 because I realized not having arrow keys suck. And around 3 years ago, High Ground sent me a few of their Basecamp keyboards as well. We have the Attack on Titan version, and we have the Sonic version. What I currently use as my main keyboard is the Summit 65 from High Ground that I bought around 3 years ago. And as great as this keyboard is, I think it's finally time for an upgrade. So over the past few years, I have no idea how good keyboards have gotten. And I'm curious to see how keyboards perform at different price points. So today, I will be testing 3 different budget keyboards at similar price points to see which one is the right one for me. So the first keyboard we have here is called the Aula Hero 68HE. So I've heard many great things about the company Aula, but I won't lie, out of the box, my first impression of this keyboard was pretty negative. It felt really cheap, and the sound, very pingy and just very hollow. And when it comes to using keyboards, I care about the feel, the sound, and also the performance. And I'm sure the performance is really good. I still have yet to test it while gaming, but the overall feel of this keyboard is very cheap. It just feels, I don't know, very light, no aluminum body, but I totally get it. It comes in at $56.99, so it is a budget price range keyboard, but stay tuned for the 2 other keyboards. Also, just doesn't feel great compared to all the keyboards I've used throughout my life. The design is very cool though. I was drawn in by the design, which is why I decided to pick this one up. So out of the box, you get the keyboard, you get a USB A to C cable, the keycap holder, as well as a few switches and keycaps in case you need them. The keyboard itself, pretty simple. You get all the keys. You get this like light bar at the top, which is pretty cool. Like I said, it was the design that pulled me in. On the left side, you get the USB-C input where you connect it. And I believe this is a wired only connection, which I have no issue with because keyboards, they stay in one spot, pretty static location, and you just play games. WASD, you just type away. But honestly, that's pretty much all you get. And it being a hollow effect keyboard, I'm assuming this is all about performance. I have yet to test it, you guys will see. Now the second keyboard, also by Aula, is the F75 Pro wireless. This one comes in at $63.99, slightly a bit more expensive than the last keyboard, but it comes with the function keys and the knob. This is a 75% keyboard, but this is a world of a difference. I think it's a $10 difference, but compared to this keyboard right here, this just feels so much more premium. Like I said, I haven't been paying attention to the keyboard game in about 3 years now. You guys hear that? That just sounds beautiful. And comparing it to my current keyboard, yes, it's a bit dirty, it's a bit messy, but that just means I use it every single day. But comparing it to my current keyboard, I was blown away that a $63 keyboard could even compare to my $290 keyboard that I purchased 3 years ago. I think you're paying more for the premium of the brand of High Ground and 100 Thieves. Although this keyboard doesn't feel as premium, which obviously makes sense, this is like a fourth of the price. But if you guys take a look at the keyboard, color is very nice. The volume knob or whatever you want to set it to, also very smooth. I just really like it. The keys are very buttery. I think it gives more of like a creamy sound than anything. It's very, very creamy. I will have a sound test at the end of this video with a professional microphone. This is the front of the keyboard right here. As you can see, the top of the keyboard, you get a USB dongle holder. So this is a tri-mode keyboard. So you get 2.4 gigahertz connection. We also have wired connection and also Bluetooth. So you have 3 different ways to connect this keyboard, and right here, this is the back. You get 2 different levels for where you could set it at for height. So we got the smallest setting, and then we've got a much higher setting for the keyboard. It's very nice. Overall typing experience, I really like it. Very, very smooth, and I think this is one of the more popular options when it comes to budget keyboards. So I would say pretty solid choice. And last but not least, this is our third budget keyboard. This is the Yunzii AL66. Coming in at $74.99. Yes, $10 more than the last option. I think we've just been going up in increments of $10. But this one right here, full aluminum chassis, so it is quite heavy. For a $74 keyboard, this is quite impressive. It feels very premium, very solid, as you guys can hear. And the overall typing experience, I mean, the font is a little bit weird though. I find the font kind of strange. The text is very thick, but hey, if you really like this font right here, it's for you. But it just kind of looks a little weird for me. You see some inconsistencies with the backspace text, but then again, like I said, this is a budget keyboard, so I'm not going to judge it too hard on the small details. But when it comes to the sound, I think this gives more of like a bubbly sound, if that makes sense. Just listen. I will have a more accurate sound test later, but this is the AL66 from Yunzii. I also heard that they have an upgraded version, a brand new version of this keyboard, which is the AL68, and I'm really curious to test it out because I really do like this keyboard. So on top of this keyboard, we have a Yunzii branded USB dongle. So you can take it out right here, and it has a more solid container right here. Just doesn't slip out just like the last one that we looked at. But we have this dongle right here, boom. Put it back when you're done. And then we also have yet another tri-mode keyboard, and I'm honestly a big fan of tri-mode keyboards because if you're using it with a laptop, you can connect it to Bluetooth, then swap it back to your main computer with USB-C or something like that, plug it back in, or I mean, you can just connect it however you want. And I really like the fact that it even gives the option. So just having the option, I think, makes a world of a difference. Also, we have a switch that allows you to switch from Mac to Windows, which I really like as a feature because, you know, there are a lot of Mac users out there, and I'm sure they really appreciate this too. So yeah, USB-C cable input, but I will say, as much as I'm a fan of this keyboard, the font's a little bit weird. You see a lot of inconsistencies. Like all the keys on the side do not match with the letter keys. And I think it's because they're from like different keycap sets or something. I really like how smooth the F75 is. But yeah, you can change the function of this knob right here though. And on the sides we have LED strips, which is very cool. So when it's connected, you can see a glow. On the bottom, there's no like plate or anything like that, which, you know, I totally understand. I believe the AL68, the updated version of this, has a really nice back plate, but honestly, who's gonna be staring at the back plate when you're using your keyboard? But it's more of like a personal preference and you knowing that there's a back plate there. So yeah, anyways guys, these are the 3 budget keyboards that I decided to test out today. If you guys have any recommendations of better budget keyboards, let me know down below in the comments. But let's go ahead and do the sound test and maybe help you choose and decide between these 3 specific budget keyboards. Anyways, there you guys have it, comparing all three of these keyboards with the sound test with my current High Ground Summit 65. So yeah, these are budget keyboards, and like I said, it blew my mind at how good these keyboards have gotten over the past few years. So I'm really curious now to test what a medium budget keyboard would be like, or maybe a more premium one would be. Like I said, there is an updated version of this keyboard, so I want to check that one out for sure. But I know there's so many great options out there, so I would love to read the comments and see what you guys think are some great options that are maybe slightly priced higher than these, that are, you know, better than these keyboards, because I don't want to be paying more for a keyboard just to get less of a performance or just less of a premium feel. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. I'll be reading the comments. Hopefully this video helped you guys decide between these three, if you were curious about these three at all. So yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. I really hope to upgrade this keyboard, because it's time, guys. It's time for me to actually switch over, because after seeing how amazing these keyboards are, a new world has opened up, and I'm really considering possibly building a brand new keyboard, a custom keyboard, or modding an already existing keyboard. So let me know what you guys think is better. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.